Good evening. This is Dehru Mitchell, and this is Connected and Protected with the Out of the Mud Productions. And today's topic will be, give me a reminder.
Say, what do you think
Yeah,
about
what do you think of this? And this are
possibility?
possibilities. Okay, and I want to start with the magnanimous occurrences that are coming out of Africa. We have Maxwell Chikumbutsu. I mentioned him last my last video, and his hypersonic technology or sonic whatever his technology that has caused that he invented that made a car that runs efficiently, perpetually, and uses no pollution making products. He is currently selling those articles, such as cars, motorcycles, so on and so forth, that run efficiently in all areas where there are radio frequencies. I asked my son earlier, is it possible that there's a way to cut off radio frequencies? He said, yeah, but if they did that, they would kill life in that whole area, and they couldn't do that. So I'm that's just a question that came up. Uh, to say that innovative technology and his invention will, in no uncertain terms, cause the world to take another look at Africa.
I have a video if you want to bring it up.
Oh yeah, bring it up. Bring up.
4 minute video.
Okay, here's a video of it.
Keep talking.
But this is one of the ways in which I think Africa will come back on point, being the motherland and also the mother of a people that is dispersed around the world. When as I considered that Africa was at one time the whole world. There was a place in the Bible where it says that, then I came forth, and when I did, to the Father I was daily his delight. But my joy was with the sons of men in the habitable part of his earth. And that was where we were when he created us. And this was before creation, but at the same time, it was an aforemention of the landmass. There was only one landmass that was habitable. So,
I'm ready.
yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay, so here we go with the video speaking on Maxwell Chikumbutsu and his posit, posisonic invention.
I'm not personally a sophisticated briber. Um, I've probably 50 so far. But I know that you've done a ton of traveling, so I've interviewed like Jim Rogers, and he, drove around the world twice, investing along the way. And he talked about the skill of bribing and also using
people giving it.
This was back in the 90s. He was using Polaroids. He would give Polaroids of him like a selfie to the border guards, and they would just let him through. We've also had the world's most traveled man on the show, and he's talked his way out of a lot of bribes. But I'd love to hear, just because you've been around so many places doing these investigations, like what's the sort of trickiest situation you've been in on your travels?
Well, the trickiest one, I believe, was the inventor that you mentioned before, the young African guy from Zimbabwe, Maxwell Chikumbutsu. When I went over to see him, the first day I came in at night, and then the next day we got together at a particular location at this church where he had a large version of his device out in the parking lot. And so he started giving me a tour, and the people I was traveling with a security guard and a film crew. And so he starts giving us this tour, and all of a sudden people start showing up. Locals start showing up in suits, looking very dour and suspicious. And so Maxwell comes over to me and he says, I didn't know they were coming, but those are representatives from the government and I can't tell them to go away. So they were hovering around this whole thing. And at one point they took him aside and you were, I didn't know what they were going to be saying to him, whether they were threatening him or telling them to get rid of me or what. But fortunately, Maxwell, we had wired him. We had a lapel mic on, and it was still turned on when they took him, kind of behind this shed to, I think, give him a talking to. So, so when he came back, we quickly got the film and sent the audio track back to California to our technicians, who got a local translator who spoke the language from Zimbabwe, and they translated it and sent it back to us so we could tell what they were saying. And what they were saying actually was they were afraid that Maxwell was going to do deals with me and not with them, because they had already tried to get his technology, but they tried to take it. And they actually put him in jail for 52 days and tortured him and tried to get him to give it to him. And he said, listen, this knowledge is my gift from God to share with all people on the planet. And he said, so if I give it to you, you hoard it for your military, nobody else gets it. And my mission is then impossible. So I think when they saw that I was there with an entourage and I was very serious about, and with the film crew and all, now they were getting the attention outside the country. Then I think they decided to treat him a little better. And so it turns out what the guy was doing was offering him a deal behind the shed, saying, okay, we'll sign these particular power purchase agreements and we'll let you also take it out, but we definitely want to start with it here in Zimbabwe. And he said, great, I'm happy to do that. And so they actually let us film, and they let me stay there. I did get a call the next morning from the office of the president of Zimbabwe, saying that, he wanted to see me at 3:00 that afternoon. It's like, okay, that's probably not good. And Zimbabwe is a rough place. You got to be on your toes over there. And so I sat down with my security guard and we came up with a strategy, because he said, first of all, you're not going in there without me. And secondly, I don't think both of us should go in there. And so I sent a note back to the president and I said, we are deeply honored by your invitation, and my security team and I would love to come to your meeting this afternoon with our film crew, because we'd like to record this auspicious conversation. So all of a sudden now he was going to be on record and with security guards.
Okay. This is going to be interrupted because this is a very long, drawn-out situation, and what we're about to show will be more to the point of what I want to project.
But this was showing the weight of how this man's life has been endangered because of his.
He's already been poisoned.
Right. But I want to show and prove that, because some people don't believe nothing unless they see it from the other side.
Okay.
So now we're going to show our side.
Right. Okay. This will be Maxwell Chikumbutso shocking the Western world by bringing out his invention and it being marketable. And this also will show that they never really considered that we would be a people to have the technological advancement that could actually produce these type of things. And I mean we as a people, because I consider myself a melanated being who is also being given gifts by that same God that gave him that gift. And here we go.
Possible to power a car without fuel, electricity, or even charging stations? Sounds like science fiction, right? But Maxwell Chikumbutso, a self-taught inventor from Zimbabwe, claims he's done just that, creating a car that runs entirely on radio waves. It could change everything we know about energy and transportation. But how was this made possible in Africa? Here, we would like to take a moment and thank you for supporting us and being a valued part of our strong community. And if you are not yet a member, we encourage you to join us and help build an even stronger community together. Let's find out.
Like the guys who came from Israel, we've got guys who came from Switzerland. These are the guys I've been working with 4 years. They have tested it. Some of them, they've bought my products before, like Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I think he bought 2 machines for himself. Right now, he bought a car. Right now, he bought a motorbike, which he's taking with him. So it's all about the proof of the pudding. He tested it. That's why he came.
Maxwell Chikumbutso, a self-taught inventor from Zimbabwe, has made waves in the world of technology and energy, with his bold claim to have created the world's first self-powered car. His invention, the Scythe FEV free energy vehicle, is said to operate without traditional fuel, electricity, or external charging. The vehicle relies on a revolutionary technology developed by Chikumbutso, the microsonic energy device, which, according to him, harnesses energy from radio waves to power the car's motor. Unlike conventional vehicles that depend on fuel or electricity, Chikumbutso asserts that radio waves power his car. Radio waves, which are a form of electromagnetic radiation commonly used for communication, are captured by the microsonic energy device, a key component of the vehicle. According to Chikumbutso, the microsonic energy device extracts energy from the radio waves present in the air and converts it into usable electrical energy.
Okay, so this is going to be directly from the person who made the invention, Maxwell Chikumbutso. And we're going to hear straight from the horse's mouth how it was given to him and what he went through to get through the process and bring this invention out, and to what extent it is in the public domain now. So, so to me, this proves that as a time I said that they had no ability to conceive our innate and our indwelt spirituality that we received at the moment of our conception. They did not quite understand that we still had linkages to our spiritual ancestral knowledge and to that source that gave us life. And this is veritably proof of that for me.
Maxwell Chikumbutso, the Zimbabwean inventor who claims to have created a free energy vehicle powered by radio frequencies, has been making headlines in his home country and across Africa.
Okay.
But why hasn't his invention broken the internet the way it would have if Elon Musk had unveiled something similar? Let me give you some of my reasons, but feel free to comment on some of your reasons. If you are not aware, this brilliant young Zimbabwean inventor officially launched his groundbreaking free energy vehicle on February 10th, and it's now available for purchase. His innovation is a microscopic energy device that Chikumbutso designed, which converts naturally occurring radio frequencies into pure, usable energy. Unlike solar panels or electric batteries, this device doesn't rely on sunlight or periodic charging, but instead it taps into the endless supply of radio waves that surround us every day, transforming them into a continuous and infinite power source. This means the vehicle can operate indefinitely without the need for fuel, recharging, or any external input. But so far, this invention has not received a lot of attention outside of Zimbabwe, and I think these are some of the reasons. One of the biggest hurdles Maxwell faces is skepticism. His claims of creating a car that runs on radio waves, requiring no fuel or recharging, have been met with doubt from scientists, engineers, and even some within his own country. Critics argue that his invention defies the laws of physics, especially the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Maxwell's device, which supposedly converts ambient radio frequencies into usable energy to power a vehicle, raises questions about where this energy is coming from. If the device is generating more energy than it's taking in from radio waves, it would violate this fundamental law. Maxwell has not provided a clear explanation of how his technology circumvents this principle. Some speculate that his device might be tapping into an unknown or unconventional energy source, while others believe it could be a misinterpretation of how the energy is being harnessed. Until Maxwell provides a detailed scientific explanation or allows independent testing, the skepticism surrounding his invention will persist. But this skepticism isn't unique to Maxwell. African inventors often face an uphill battle when it comes to gaining global trust. Until Maxwell provides a detailed scientific explanation or allows independent testing, the skepticism surrounding his invention will persist. But this skepticism isn't unique to Maxwell. African inventors often face an uphill battle when it comes to gaining global trust.
So this is where it's paused. So I'm reloading now, so you can get back on.
Okay.
So give me one moment. So now.
The narrative that groundbreaking innovations can only come from Western countries like the US or Europe is deeply ingrained. When an African inventor claims to have achieved something extraordinary, the default reaction is often disbelief. Let's be honest, if Elon Musk had announced a car powered by radio waves that would be ready by 2035, the world would be in a frenzy. Headlines would dominate every major news outlet, and social media would explode with discussions. But when Maxwell Chikumbutso makes the same claim of a product that is available today without any promises that never come true like Elon Musk, the reaction is more of, nothing serious is happening over there. Why? Because the world still struggles to see African inventors as equals in the global innovation race. There's a subconscious bias that assumes African inventors lack the resources, education, or infrastructure to create something revolutionary. This bias is unfair and harmful. It suppresses innovation and discourages talented individuals in Africa from pursuing their ideas, unless they move to America or Europe. Maxwell's story is a perfect example of how African inventors are often overlooked, even when their work has the potential to change the world. Another reason Maxwell's invention hasn't gone viral is the lack of visibility outside Zimbabwe. While he has demonstrated his technology to Zimbabwean President Emerson Mnangagwa and local media, there's been no independent verification or demonstration on a global stage. Maybe now that his product is available to be purchased, we could see some independent experts testing it and letting us know if it's real or just a scam. Like Terry McCasey claims on YouTube that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Chikumbutso's claims over the years keep getting more spectacular. The evidence remains at the stage of here is a PowerPoint slideshow. For a technology to gain worldwide recognition, it needs to be tested and validated by independent experts. Elon Musk companies like Tesla and SpaceX regularly invite journalists, scientists, and engineers to witness their innovations firsthand. Maxwell, on the other hand, has yet to provide this level of transparency, which leaves a very big room for doubt. And we just hear about his inventions, but we haven't seen a working prototype. Even after the product launch, people still don't know how to go about buying his product. Maybe his target market is industries that build cars. Another reason has to do with the radio frequency energy harvesting happening in this case. It is a real concept, but it's currently used to power low-energy devices like sensors or fitness trackers, not vehicles. Critics argue that radio waves simply don't contain enough energy to power a car, let alone one that can reach speeds of 220 kilometers per hour. Maxwell claims to have found a way to amplify this energy using his microsonic energy device. But without detailed scientific data or peer-reviewed studies, it's hard to take this claim at face value. If he has indeed cracked the code, he needs to provide more evidence to convince the scientific community and the world at large. But the fact that the product has been launched, I'm sure we will get more information about it soon. I believe the power of marketing and media is another reason Elon Musk is a master of marketing. He knows how to create buzz, generate hype, and keep people talking. He will promise people a product that is not even ready like FSD and sell his ideas so well that leaves people believing in him. Maxwell Chikumbutso, on the other hand, lacks the same level of media savvy and global influence. While his invention has been covered by Zimbabwean media and some African outlets, it hasn't received the same level of attention from the international press.
I know about it.
This isn't just about Maxwell.
And
it's about the broader issue of
time,
how African innovations are covered or not covered by global media. If Maxwell's invention had been backed by a major Western corporation or celebrity, it would likely have already gone viral. As of now, the flagship product of this technology is a vehicle called the Scythe, developed in collaboration with a Chinese company that provided the vehicle's shell and essential components. But the real star of the show is the energy system, which allows the Scythe to achieve an unlimited driving range and a top speed of 220 kilometers per hour. Driving a car that never needs to stop for gas or charging will be the best thing ever for everyone. And with modern features like self-parking and an advanced driving system, the Scythe is as practical as it is innovative. Even more impressive is its estimated manufacturing cost of just $14,000 per unit, making it an affordable option for mass adoption. The implications of this technology will be carsy, and it might put big Western companies out of business. If successfully commercialized, it could eliminate our dependence on fossil fuels, drastically reduce carbon emissions, and transform global economies. The Zimbabwean president has already recognized the significance of this milestone, meeting with Chikumbutso to commend his ingenuity. The president described the invention as a world first and emphasized the importance of supporting homegrown talent. The Zimbabwean government is now exploring ways to establish a local vehicle manufacturing plant, which could position the country as a global leader in clean energy technology. But questions remain about scalability, regulatory approvals, and how established
having a working model on the market will not allow that to happen. And with
so with that said, what do we do?
What do we do?
Yeah.
For me, now, I mean, I'm not small-minded, but I may be financially incapable. And
well, they say necessity is the mother of all innovation.
Right. So I would say that, as far as
let me change
as
that.
far as this country is concerned.
Not they say, but it is said.
It is. Okay. As far as this country and the people of color in this country, I see, even though Africa has been exploited from time immemorial, to my knowledge, that us as a people having the first access with our people should be able to come to a agreement that we can invest in this type of technology and that particular product, and that is what, and that one, and that, and in that way, we would have not only the ability to propel ourselves into a market and dominate it, but also continuously give credit to the country, the continent, and the people who have the fullness of us in their mind.
So can I challenge all that?
Sure.
I'm asking. I won't if you say I can't.
I mean, challenge.
Okay. So
because for me, okay. Great.
So the challenge is, black people can't come together and agree upon nothing. So you talking about something over in a whole nother continent, whole nother country, about people that don't even care about us. They never came back over here to get us from home. They never declared war against the United States and said we want our people back. And we're supporting them verbally because we have the largest propaganda platform on the world, which is the United States. We are the kings and queens of propaganda. Mm-hmm. and media and mm-hmm. getting a message out. Mm-hmm. So supporting him, how does that support us when we're under attack right now as Black Americans with all these things that this new administration is putting out here, and not just that, the things that have been done for the last 400 something plus years,
which they are now beginning to appraise as the lies given to them, that we are against them. They have put us in the same genre as themselves to Africa. Not only that, but when Africans come to this country, they make us so despicable to them.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That they want to disown us.
That's exactly what I'm
But
saying.
that's not the case any longer.
How not?
They have come to the knowledge that coming to this country, they're not even allowed to. They're not even allowed to interact with us. But they were placed in better positions in the short period of time that they come and be here.
Do you know that depending on where you come from in Africa, that you are labeled Caucasian or white when you come to this country?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And this is what I'm saying. But they don't see them. We don't see them as white. And at the same, I hear me fine. Now we don't consider them white, and they don't see us as black, other than a different color black than them.
They
label
think of us as
this is on
nappy-head
paper,
Negroes.
huh?
They think of us as nappy-head Negroes that aren't smart enough to get our own way.
Oh yeah, they do that. But they're coming.
As
I say, they are coming to a better understanding of what we have had to deal with for that 500 years. As a matter of fact, South Africa itself, going to apartheid, coming out of apartheid, for me, I can compare that with what we went through from the time of our emancipation.
They put themselves back in apartheid too, because they didn't have the resources and know-how and the political skills to stay out of it.
That's changing, and I'm saying it's being led by Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso, Mali, and those other countries that have come into an alliance together to continuously progress in the area of changing the demographics of the governments in Africa. And we're in line with making those possibilities. We're in line with making those possibilities come about. And I'm going to ask you one more time, what do you think about that? And that will be it for this evening.
And let's say this is part one, because I think we got some stuff.
Okay. We're going to make this part one, and we're going to go at it again, because I have more to add to it too.